You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yes. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind. And when I space out, I see the possibilities unfolding the way that I want. That you showed up was written in my palm. You
Hello, and welcome to the Oola Corner. All right, this is the place where we share all things Oola, you guys. And what is Oola, you say? Well, Oola is kind of like a made-up word. It comes from the French Oola la, which means basically living a life in balance. It was coined by two amazing guys, Dr. Troy and Dr. Dave, and they are on the quest of helping people find balance in an unbalanced world. So, in short, Oola is living a life in balance and greater purpose. It's about recognizing where you are in 7 key areas of your life and setting goals and action steps to in place so that you can grow and live your dream life. And that is my favorite part of that whole thing. My name is Mona, and I am a certified Oola coach. And what I want to do is challenge you to dream again. Basically, there is no such thing as too old, too young, too rich, too poor, too anything really, because at the end of the day, dreaming has no age. And it certainly doesn't cost anything. And when we start dreaming again, and allowing ourselves kind of that childlike moment of just using our imagination and taking off to somewhere unknown. I mean, that guys is when we take the first step towards realizing or just acknowledging the life of our dreams. And that is when we start, then that is when we can start taking the steps towards that dream. Is it scary? Yes. Is it easy? Nope. But it is simple and it is doable. And as an Oola coach, I am here to encourage, facilitate, support, and celebrate just that, your dream. And I am super excited because I have a fellow dreamer and Oola coach with me here today. Ransom, welcome.
Hello, everybody out there that is watching live, and perhaps those who watch on the replay. we're grateful that you're here. It's one of the things we
Absolutely.
say also in Oola. It is to really be grateful, have faith. So have faith in life, like like Mona's talking about with Oola. It's about dreaming. It's about being grateful. It's about being grateful where you are and where you want to go. And that's actually, this would be a great segue to tell my personal Oola story, because you're like,
Yes,
okay, cool. We
please.
know Mona, we've been on here. We know her. Who are you? So what qualifies you? So let's put a little frame around this. And this is what I love about Oola, because it's like a kid explained it this way. It's like a fingerprint or a snowflake. It is unique. Everybody's story and how Oola intersects with their life is unique. So let me tell my story. So in 2015, my wife got gifted a ticket to Oola Palooza in Las Vegas. She went to it. She had this amazing experience, and she came back and she was telling me all about these Oola guys, and because it had reignited this fire inside of her. And I'll tell you why that kind of dimmed out a little more as my story goes along, so it'll make sense. So reignited this fire. So she came back all jazzed up and everything, is like, there's these Oola guys and these dreams and this. And I'm thinking, okay, one of two things based off the name, because it is made up and kind of this. I was like, okay, Oola. I was like, did she go and join a cult? That was first thing. I was like, is it a cult? Like, no. She's like, no, they're not cults. Just like this. Okay. I was like, let me understand. You're in Las Vegas and there's some shows and stuff. Was it all male, like review, like Magic Mike or something? She's like, no. I was like, okay, what is it exactly? And she explained it. I was like, well, that sounds cool and everything, but really wasn't at a point to really receive it. And it wasn't until February of 2016. So this is the end part of this, because every year they have Oola Palooza in December, and they had it in December. And it wasn't for me until it was 2015. It wasn't until February of 2016 that it really started to impact me. Because what happened, we had previously, she and I had lost a daughter. We had our son. I lost my father unexpectedly. And then 2.5 years later, I lost my brother. Now, he got diagnosed with leukemia in February of 2016. And he only lived for a short 30 days. That was it. It was there and boom, gone. So I had all this trauma, all this pain, all this that I'm dealing with. I'm literally driving back. He was in Alabama, and I'm driving up basically I-65. And I look up in the rearview mirror and I have this conversation with myself. I'm like, do you want to live? Now, I wasn't suicidal. I'm not that way. I believe in always proceeding ahead, but like, do you really want to truly live? Because I realized I was not living the life that I had purposed. Like Mona's talking about, we have dreams when we're young. We're going to do this, that. Life comes along, circumstances. For some reason, we stop dreaming. We stop hoping. We stop believing that there is going to be another, I guess, uncloudy day. We're just in our funk. And so I had that conversation with myself, and I looked at myself, no, I'm going to live. I'm not going to die. And I told myself that. Well, fast forward, no more than 30 days after that, I meet Dave and Troy. They came to Lexington, Kentucky, and had this mini Oola Palooza in Lexington. And I got invited too, and I went there. And it reignited something in me as well. Dave was telling the story. It was painful. Dave was telling a story about his nephew, Jared. Now, be grateful, have faith, comes from his nephew who actually has cancer. Had cancer, he got cured of cancer, had leukemia from the treatment from cancer. So he ended up passing anyway. But this expression came out from his sister would say it to him. And this one thing, it got repeated through there. But when he's telling that story, I had to leave the room. It was so painful. But then I returned, but it was so worth it, because then they showed me a way to dream again. They gave me a framework to take my life through, to focus on what Mona said, those 7 key areas of life, just take stock of it, to see where I was, and then to take that and really figure out how to move forward from there and to do that. So that's just briefly what my Oola story is. And so I became a coach with this and retired as an electrical contractor. So I did electrical work. So, but it launched me and my wife on our personal development journey, which we've been on since 2016. We invested in masterminds and all these different things, but now Oola is more available to the masses. I'm sure Mona will explain how that works later on. We'll get to that, but that's my story as condensed as we could do it. Was that good?
It was, I had goosebumps. Like it was literally a goosebump moment as he was sharing all the trauma like that you had to go through to realize, to get to that point, to, you know, where am I really in my life? Am I living the life that I want? Am I living the life that I was created for?
Right.
You know, that life of greatness and the purpose. And I feel like a lot of people, they have to have that that trauma before they can move on with their lives. And that's what I love about Oola, I think, is that, you know, let's not wait. Let's just do it now. Let's not wait for that trauma to happen. Let's not wait for the bank account to be empty. Let's not wait for illness to hit us. Let's stop now. Like stop. Just stop. Let's take stock. You know, where are we? Where are we when it comes to our fitness, our finances? How is our relationship with our family and friends? Are we surrounded, you know, by a community of faith and love and trust? And the most important, like, are we having fun in life? Are we laughing? Are we, you know, dancing on the table, whatever it might be? And I really, really love that aspect of Oola that allows you to just, you know, right here, right now, let's just stop. Let's take stock. Where are we? And more importantly, where do we want to go?
Yeah, that's a great question. So may I ask you a question? For anybody who's out there who's listening, they may say, well, Mona, you know, right now I'm in this position and this is who I am. What would you say to them? They're like looking at their life. Well, this is who I am. What would you say to them?
I would say, are you happy? Are you happy? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you wake up every morning and do you feel like you're doing what you were supposed to do? If you look at your life right now and you transpire this life 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, is that where you want to go? And that's actually what happened with me, because the pandemic hit and everything came to a stop. You were like forced to take that stop and you were inside, and it gave me an opportunity to really reflect on my own life. And it gave me an opportunity to say, is this where I want to be, you know, 3 years from now? Is this where I want to be 5 years from now? And the answer was like in my face, like, no, absolutely not. I do not want to be here. I have a dream. And my dream was to become my dream was to become a coach. And I think subconsciously I was already doing some research as to, you know, what kind of coach do I want to be? What is my message? What is it that I want to share? Who is it that I want to help? And then I met you.
That's right. We had just a friendly conversation about it to see if it was the right fit. Like, okay, a lot of people show up, I want to coach. It's like, cool, that's great. Do you really want to coach? Let's take a look at it. And she did well. We do a little bit of an interview because it's important. We've been entrusted with this message that can change lives. Now it's meant for everyone, but to be a coach is a different story. There's a different degree to that, you know, because that's part of it. Like that education process and all that is so important. I think it's actually what we're talking about. Like this month is education, correct? Did I get that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this is the thing about it. And I think it's important, people out there too, is when we think about education, we think about academia. We think about higher education. We think about all those things, and those are wonderful to the application of where they're supposed to go. I'm a big advocate of doing that, college and things, if it applies to your life. But so many people, like Mona even talked about this, they really don't even know how to do the fundamental things in life, what those parts are, what it looks like, even a fundamental thing to dreams and doing that is setting a goal. So if
Yeah.
you're in school, you're doing college, you're doing this, you have to set a goal to the end. I think a lot of us do it. We set a goal, we do it, we crush it, but we don't really know how to repeat the process.
Yeah. I mean, I fell into that obstacle to where I was working hard and I was working towards this one huge goal that I'd set for myself. And I received at the goal, and that was it. Like I didn't know what to do with myself anymore. It took me probably, I want to say like almost a year and a half, to a point where I kept going backwards. I was like, well, I achieved my goal. I should be happy now. I should be so content with myself. And I was, but I kept going backwards.
Mm.
And it was because I hadn't taken step to set the next goal for myself. And, again, 2020 hit, and you were kind of forced to take that, to take stock again and see, at least for me, see where I am, where do I want to go, and then to take the action steps towards it, which was so scary from many aspects. But now that I'm here on the other side, it's just it's so fulfilling. It's when you wake up in the morning and you're excited to see what the day has to offer for you, instead of waking up in the morning and going through your habits of going to the shower, making your coffee, drinking your coffee, having your breakfast, getting in the car, going to work, working,
Right.
coming back to work, making dinner, doing the laundry, cleaning the house. Like, yeah, I'm waking up and I'm like, what does today have to offer? Who am I going to meet? We talked about this a little bit before. Who's going to cross my path today, and what lessons am I going to be able to share, and what lessons am I going to be able to receive, which is why I love the opportunity to have this time to share, Oola, and to share it with, my fellow coaches and Oola community, because I think this is such an easy, super easy way to just take that first step. That, and that's all you need to do. Just take that first step towards that life that, that you would like, your dream life.
Yeah. I think too is one thing is to admit when you're not fulfilled, because
Right.
I think that's part of it too. People maybe deal with a little bit of some guilt around that. Like, I should have done different with my life. I should have done this. I should have done that. I shouldn't have made this decision here and that. And that's the thing about it. It doesn't serve you in that moment. So I want to say that, like, sometimes you just got to stand up to yourself. You can be like, okay, I've had enough. I'm going to be happy. We're going to put these things aside, but it's not easy to do. You've got to get help with that. You've got to, have someone that can help you to see your blind spots, to help bring you through, to help you see those things. And that's part of what Oola does. They have that framework for you. And we have this thing, it's this cool thing called the wheel. And it takes you like, okay, where's your life now? Let's look at these 7 key areas. Where is it? And they take you through this amazing set of questions, this questionnaire. Like, it's really cool. I was thinking about this the other day. A lot of times in moving forward, you're only, with Oola, at least, you're 70 questions away to really knowing better where you are and where you want to go. That's it. Can you imagine that? Just going through
I
70 questions, right? Right, Mona? You can test to this.
No, absolutely. And, I remember the first time I did it. I mean, I still have my notes. And what I saw with, from the first time I did the questions to now, And I look back and I'm like, I was filled with so much fear in when I did it the first time. So much fear. Fear of, I don't understand this. Fear of setting that goal, even fear of achieving that goal, you know,
That's a
because,
big one. Yeah.
oh my goodness, I didn't even
Once I
realize.
do it, how do I maintain what I've acquired, right?
Exactly. So it's almost better not to do it at all, because then
Yeah.
I am
I know where I'm
responsible.
at. Yeah. I know where I'm at right now.
I'm
I may not like
comfortable
where I'm at, but at
here.
least it's familiar.
Exactly. And yeah, you kind of get addicted to that comfort, that familiarity of where you are in your life. And yeah, like I said, that fear of just answering the questions and being truthful and accountable, not to anybody else but myself. Just
Mm,
being accountable to myself. Like, where am I in my fitness? Where am I in my health? Like,
mm,
yes, I'm vegan, I am so healthy, but am I really? Like, when you really like pull back the curtain and you have a look, like, there's still things that you can improve on. Um, and finances, oh my God, that was like pulling teeth when you had to really like open up your bank account and go through everything that you spent. It felt like I was like getting undressed
I
in
was
front
going
of
to say, do you
somebody that
feel
I
like you
don't
were
meet. It's like I felt so naked,
like getting in
but
dress of like people in public? You're like, oh my gosh.
so uncomfortable, but yet so
Mm,
educational in the sense where, wow, like I really spend $400 a month on takeaway food, or wow, like really, like that's how much I spend on, whatever it might be. And then I have this poverty mindset, but I'm like, but I'm not. There is no, I have abundance. I am abundant.
mm.
I'm just not managing it correctly. So taking ownership for that as well was just such a huge, uh, again, just huge blessing in disguise. Just, but you have to go through that mud of fear and comfort, breaking through your comfort zone to just get to the other side of it and continuing your building your life.
Yeah. And that's it. I really feel like that is a very truthful statement, is taking responsibility for your actions and realizing no one else put you there. But the challenging part is then not to condemn yourself. We were just now
Oh
having
yeah.
a conversation with somebody a few minutes ago. It's like you're walking in to the courtroom. You keep on doing the same crime. You walk in, you are the you're the criminal. You got the
Yep.
plaintiff, you get defendant, you got all that, you got those people, you got your counsel there, you got your jury, you got your judge up there, and you look around and you know what? It's all you.
All you.
All the jury over here, every single last one of them is you.
It's you, yeah.
Your judge is you.
Yep.
Your bailiff, everybody.
Yep.
Your jailer, is the thing. And we were having a discussion with somebody just a few minutes ago. And that's the thing about it. Like, so even when you get that sentence, you're free. A lot of times we keep ourselves in jail, but because we're like, no, I'm still really guilty.
Yep.
I keep on repeating this crime. I need to stay in here and be punished
Yep.
instead of using something like this to get freedom and allow yourself to be forgiven and just move forward. And it's a cool thing, like with Jesus. So that's one of my personal teachers. Is he's my rabbi, my teacher. And one thing he did, like, he would cast out people's things, like they could walk again, do this and everything, but he always ended with this. He's like, cool, I've blessed you, but go forward and sin no more. So, like, basically, let's stop repeating the cycle. Let's
Yep.
learn how to do it. There's another beautiful piece where it says, there's no condemnation. There's no condemnation, forgiveness. You should allow yourself that time to grow. It's going to take time. I work a lot with the subconscious mind. There's things that are built into here. It's like having an automatic process. It's already in there in the file. And the next thing you know, like, you hit the button and automatic happens because it's in our program. So we
Yep.
either learned it from someone or we personally put it in here by our influences, and we don't even know it. We're subconsciously doing it.
Yep. Yeah. Habits are
Mm.
dangerous, but the first step is to just start being aware of it. And I like to challenge, people that I first meet, and we start talking about this, especially around habits. And I ask them a simple question: what leg do you put first in your pants when you put them on in the morning? And nobody will know. Maybe 1 out of 10 people will
Yeah.
have that conscious knowledge of, oh, I put my left leg in first. No, wait, I put my right leg now.
Mhm.
And then the next challenge then is like, okay, so for the next week, pay attention.
Mhm.
Which leg do you put in first? It's about awareness. And once you arrive at awareness, it's the next step is moving forward.
And it is freeing. So here's the thing about you guys listening out there, hearing the message, like, yeah, I'm not fulfilled in these areas of life. I have the things that they're dealing with. I am just so stuck. Well, here's hope. But I want to put
Yep.
this around here, like, take action. First, decide to do it. Perhaps reach out to Mona or myself and say, hey, you know what? I want to know more about this.
Yep.
We'll have a conversation with you to see if it is the right fit for you. We ain't going to sell you a darn thing. We're just going to help you on your way, whatever that looks like. But here's the thing about it. I want to ask you, because you're thinking, well, I don't know if I really want to do this and whatever. I just want to ask you, like, what has the cost of inaction been in your past? How many years have already gone by? How many days? We're not promised another day. We're not
Mhm.
promised another. No one knows how long our life is. Why not take action today?
Yep. So how can they reach you then, Ransom? If anybody wants
Sure. Yeah.
to talk with you.
Yeah, it'd be great. You can reach me out on Instagram. You can find me Ransom Davenport. Plug it in there, and we'll just have a conversation there. Reach out, and then we just do that. Or out on Messenger, look up Ransom Davenport, and you'll find me there. We can just start a conversation to see if it's the right fit for you. So no pressure. I'm not going to sell you a darn thing. I promise. We're just have a good conversation. That's
Awesome.
it.
I love that. And as for me, if you would like to reach out to me, there is a QR code on this live stream. So just use the QR code, and same thing. I am just looking forward to having a conversation with you to see if we're a right fit and if it's something that we can move forward with. So for me, I'm going to challenge you again. What's that dream life that you're looking for? Forget about where you are right now and start dreaming again. That's my challenge to you.
Love it.
Ransom, any parting words?
I would say this, you could do this alone, because there's an expression: alone you can go fast, but I'm going to tell you, together we go far. So you can go further with having help.